fucking mic issues. Working me.
What's going on, guys? This is T-Dubs.
I'm Buckshot.
And this is Underground Outreach, episode number 3.
Today we got PSL-based Tyrannaphobia. I'm not sure if it's the whole group there. But yeah, here. You guys can feel free to introduce yourselves.
It's not the whole band.
It is not.
I'm Azam. I used to do vocals, and I'm going to be playing bass and doing backup vocals.
I'm Chris. I'm the drummer.
I'm Max, and I'm on guitar. We're missing one of our other guys, Lee. He's also on guitar.
Nice. Cool. Well, we're like super stoked. We're super stoked to have you on today. I know we kind of spoke briefly a little bit a couple days ago, and I've been, gosh, what is it? This has been like a year in the making, almost?
Yeah, something like that. I think he messaged our band page at some point, and I was like, sure, I'll say yes to pretty much anything. We got nothing
We like to have fun.
Totally. I mean, we do too.
That's kind of why
If
we
we
started
didn't, this
this.
would be deeply confusing.
So, I know that you guys just had a show last week at the Stamp Bar up in Vero.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
It was probably one of our better sets we've ever done. I don't. It was just generally a fun night. I mean, anytime we played, the Stamp was great. It was the one that I think it was the first time I've been there and there wasn't a fight. Oh my god! Like
We're always waiting. We're always waiting for somebody to go flying through the window that's right by where all the bands play.
Well, at least that makes for an interesting show.
Yeah. I love playing at the Stamp personally. That's like my favorite venue.
Yeah, it truly is that meme with like from The Office. The guys like this is the stage. But
Yep.
yeah, I think the other band who was there, Tether, they were like, "That's it." I'm like, "Yeah, that's it. It's gonna be great. 10 out of 10 experience." And then after they played, they're like, "Yeah, this place is awesome." I'm like, "You cannot go wrong. You played to 10 people. You played to 100.
Yeah, it always
like
looks
you're always
packed
playing
out.
to 100."
So it's one of them. I've actually never been. It's one of those small little, like real small, intimate type venues.
Like
Dude, it is the size of like a decently sized bedroom in a home.
we're not joking when literally 10 people makes that place packed out.
People start standing on the bar at
Yeah.
some point.
Well, that gives it a really good energy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a while ago, or a couple of years ago. I'm actually wearing their shirt. The band Backslide came through there. Mike booked them up there from Dead Dreams Booking, and before they played, like sound hadn't been set up. It was like us, another band called not us. We didn't play. Me, I'm hanging out with Mike. Path of Totality was playing that. Backslide, and I want to say Heavy Hitter, who's now popping off on TikTok. Big shouts to them. We're gonna play, and Path of Totality and Backslide were talking, and I was talking to one of the guys in Backslide, and I was like, "Yeah, this place is super violent." Again, nothing had been set up. A guy's walking out in like a collared shirt, and he's like dapping everybody up, and he is obliterated, so drunk. It's across the street. There's a parking lot across the street from where it's at. It's in the middle of like downtown Vero, and somebody cracks a joke, and everyone laughs. That guy thought we were laughing at him, begins sprinting back to attack the band. And I'm not near it, and the bass player, I think his name, I can't think of his name right now. He goes, "Oh, it's like that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like that. It's going to be like that all night."
Oh man. No.
Stamp in Vero. I'm gonna have to go check that place out.
Yeah, it's a
Anytime
great
I have a show.
time.
Hey, the only downside is they don't start playing normally till like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's like a late show. I guess they're like right next door to like a restaurant. I'm assuming that's why we start so late, but
Yeah. I like later shows anyways. I'm a night person, so.
I'm an old fart, so it gives me enough time to like take a nap, so I can
Hey,
actually
we're
stay
getting
up for the whole
there, man.
show.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there for sure.
Staying up for the
Yeah,
whole show.
that show, that was the first one we've played, and
I think
it's
almost
been
a year.
It's been a while. We've been hardcore into like writing our new material and stuff. But the guy who was booking that show, we kind of tell him no a lot, so we were kind of like, let's do it. Let's
also,
go
we really wanted to play with Psych.
Yeah, I
and Tether, so
really
was
love
like,
Psych.
We have no reason to.
Yeah.
There's
When
no
you guys
conflict.
announced it on your Facebook page, you guys were so excited to play. So, especially with Psych, I know that you guys
Yeah.
were super stoked for it. So
Psych is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
Like they're offensively good.
Especially with just being two, like the drummer and the drummer and the
Guitarist-
vocalist and the guitar is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. We saw him the first time we saw him was at a Kava bar, and their like stage presence was just insane. Like they were all over the place. The dude was like, he got up on, like, they have like a pool table or a table
Yeah,
at
he was
some
everywhere.
point. He was everywhere, man. It was just the energy they had was nuts.
was that the one over in PSL over here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Comic
Yeah,
Con.
that place is tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, the
You think-
stamp makes that place look like a Walmart Supercenter.
Yep.
Oh,
The place is
jeez.
small. They added a wall too. So we were in there. I'm like, oh, you can't walk around the cooler anymore. You're just stuck.
So you guys said that you have some new material coming out?
So coming out is a great way of putting it. We often tell people when they're like, oh, you guys take long breaks. We're America's slowest songwriters.
Yeah.
Like, so what'll happen is either we go with like he brings a riff to the table and we slowly build out a song, or I'm a psychopath. We'll just write a whole song on like Logic and then send it to them and be like, do you think you like this? And then we'll make that a song. Like we all kind of put it through the filter of everybody else's perspective. It takes us a while because normally we'll like get through it and be like, this part repeats too much. What if we do this? So like we have, I don't know, 10 or 11 songs we've been sitting on that have been written across the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That we've just like, as we go to work on them, we're like, how can we improve it? And also we've been recording ourselves for so long, and we kind of want to break away from that. I am super tired of listening to a snare and being like, this doesn't sound good. I'm just like, I want somebody else to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. I hate it.
I was actually gonna eventually bring that up, like your whole recording process and all that. What are you recording with? I've been a musician since I was like 14, so I'm really into the gear and equipment and all that shit that you guys use.
That's him.
We'll gladly talk a bunch of
Yeah.
shit about that. We record onto a Mac. We use Logic. And when I say I use Logic, I mean I have a stolen copy of Logic.
It's a great configuration. I'm
Yeah,
familiar with it, to
I
say the
know
least.
a Tascam, like 16-channel interface, so we can record live drums.
Right.
But the downside is I can't upgrade OSs anymore without having to get a new interface. So we're in that, like, using shit that is barely functional now.
I just had to upgrade my MacBook for that reason because I couldn't install Logic Pro on my old Mac.
Yeah, that's been so like we were using a lot of plugins for guitar tracking instead of like live tracking because you know the slightest of sound throws that off. So we have some stuff from STL Tones, and after like I've double tracked rhythm and I'm going with the lead, and we like to do a lot of textures with like delays and stuff. By that point, literally the CPU is like, please God, kill me. Put a bullet to my
That
head.
CPU rides the struggle bus just
Oh.
doing guitars.
It's like it's truly a struggle with that stuff. But I mean that's how we've been doing it for a while now. And I'll even say like that's with us upgrading after Hell is Other People. Like Hell is Other People we took our time on, and those 5 songs are good, but like we wanted to like take it a step up on the next stuff, have more heavier, but parts be heavier that are significantly heavier, especially because we switched to 8 strings after Hell is Other People
Right.
and playing the dumbest guitar tuning known to man.
What tuning and all that were you using for Bishop Night King?
That's just drop C.
Okay.
We still technically play in drop C.
It appeals to my ear. I've been on just a drop C kick lately, so when I came across that, I gave it a listen probably 2 times in a row.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You go.
We're like amateurish at best. So we went from 6 strings up to 8 strings, and we don't know what to do with those extra 2 strings. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna copy the same drop C onto the top strings.
So it's literally C, G, C, G, C, F, A, G.
Right.
So you can just decide to make the breakdown 2 octaves heavy by going up.
Just
Yeah.
decide on the fly.
Yeah.
What's the crowd in the mood for? I'll serve it up dirty for them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, man. We've been doing drop C, I think, as long as we've been a band. We just, I don't know.
Pretty much.
He came in, he was like, we're playing a drop C, and we're like, that is a good idea.
You got it.
I would actually say that's probably how we've operated as a band for a while. Like, even the band name, somebody just said it in the middle of us, like, we should probably pick a name. what about Tyrannaphobia? Yeah, that sounds good. And
That
we
works.
haven't talked about it more than that.
The first like original thing with that was like we were heavy into like it being a T-Rex theme. And that slowly kind of faded off.
And we were like, oh, that has nothing
to do with it.
that.
So, I know that we kind of discussed it a little bit a couple days ago, but you guys are looking for a new vocalist.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what kind of inspired you to want to hop on the bass and kind of not sing anymore?
Good.
I guess the best way to put it is we've for the longest time, as long as we've been a band, like holding a bassist has been our greatest struggle.
Yeah, we've
Like,
been through four
5 now. It's
bass players.
I mean, like the last one, our buddy Mike, he's being a dad, doing the whole grown man life stuff, and not like we're
Yeah.
not, but like our current lives make it a little easier to do stuff like this. So when he was like, I got to take a step back, I like looked at them. I'm like, we got 3 options. Option 1, we backtrack everything and we can never fuck up again. Option 2, we look for a bassist, which is going to be like shooting in the dark because no one wants to play bass, it seems like. Or option 3, because I've been writing a lot of songs lately, why don't I just move to bass? And we like sat and talked about it, and we're like, you know what? Like the worst thing that can happen is no one really fits, and we don't really feel like comfortable, bringing that in, because we've always kind of operated less like a band and more like a family. Like I've known him since middle school. We've been best friends since literally middle school. He introduced me to him because when they went to high school, so we've like he was a groomsman at my wedding. I was a groomsman at his wedding. He was my best man at my wedding. Like we treat each other like family. Like you don't just come to band practice and leave.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you're invited to birthdays. You're invited to family events. Your phone gets rung at 2 a.m. when somebody's trapped on the side of the road. Like it's not that whole I just show up and play my instrument thing. So we kind of knew like if we move me to bass, like the reality of it could be is we don't find somebody who's open to that. And even as we've had people message us, most have been like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Some have been like, what? You mean I might get invited to a baby shower, a kid's first birthday? I'm like, yeah, that could very well be your reality, because to us, like that's how we show appreciation and love to each other. And that what makes
that
it
also
easier.
goes to like the developing the relationship between people, and especially if you guys are out touring eventually and doing that, you got to be able to get along and trust the other guy you're with
Yeah.
at some level.
And on the couple of weekender things that we did, it's like, yeah, we're all crammed in. At the time I had a Ram 1500 pickup, we were crammed in that bitch, and it's like, you get, but the adventures we've gone on, it makes it that much better, being that we're all really close friends. Like there's so many more memories to be made, especially when you're that close.
Right.
Yeah, so to us, like me moving to bass felt like, all right, these two have kind of been like the crux of like the rhythm and guitar section. Lee was a close friend of ours who we just made play guitar. We didn't give him an option. Like it was sort of gun to his head, like you're joining the band.
And it was literally a
3 weeks?
couple of weeks before we played a big festival in the local area, which was the Brian Jackson Music Festival.
You're gonna play in front of a bunch of people.
And we were on a
downtown
big
Fort
stage, and yeah, it was insane.
So yeah, we're hoping we're gonna find somebody incredible, and that it's like that fifth musketeer we've been missing.
Yeah.
That's just the crux of it, I guess.
Okay. Well, if any of the viewers are interested in auditioning, where would they be able to reach out with you guys?
They can reach out to the regular Tyrannaphobia page on Facebook or Instagram or any of our social media platforms. Even if you want to reach out to any of us individually, me and him are a little bit more active on social media than the other two. Just reach out. The worst that can happen is you wait a while because we're only doing one-on-one practices.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a cattle call. A lot of people seem to think we were going to do that. I'm like, no, we want to get to know you. Like, you're going to be nervous in the first place. So we might do the 2 songs. It sounds terrible. We talk for a while, and the person feels a little more comfortable and goes, hey, can we run it again?
Yeah.
And we actually get a good interpretation of who this person is. I don't want to put anybody in a position, especially coming from being a vocalist, where they're terrified the entire time, and we just let a diamond walk out the door because that experience was so awkward.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Actually, right before this show here, the live show, we watched. It's up on YouTube. Your show last Saturday.
We found that clip too.
Yeah.
I sent it to them. They're like, "Oh, this sounds like shit."
No, I mean,
No, it sounds like it was recorded live, like from somebody off to the side without professional sound recording equipment.
Yeah.
The
But everything
angle-
else sounded tight.
The angle of where that was, he was probably standing right next to one of the PA
You
heads.
don't remember
Yeah.
him? An old man literally came in with a monopod and a camera and just sat down and moved a bar stool, sat right next to the main house speaker, and didn't move. And I was like, "That's a bold choice.
Yep.
that
You
is
might get hit by a person."
absolutely the worst place to sit if
Yeah.
you're gonna record.
I'm very thankful he did that because I was like, "Oh, we have a couple clips on Instagram stories that'll disappear," and I'm like, "Oh, I'll never see it again." And then I found that this morning. I'm like, "Huh." Yeah.
No, I mean, I know when we actually put it on, me and Buckshot were like blown away. We were like, "Whoa, it sounds very, very good, even though it is recorded off of something not so great. But you guys sounded phenomenal.
Thank
Phenomenal.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
The fundamentals and the actual production of the noise was good. It was on time,
Yeah.
balanced, and it was literally just let down by the recording.
Yeah. And the fact that I was totally messing up the lyrics of the first two songs.
Yeah, the very first song,
Yeah. There's a whole, I repeat stuff on the first two multiple times.
yeah, the first song,
Totally forgot.
the choruses aren't the same. The first chorus is different than the second one. So the whole time he's messing up the lyrics, I'm just looking at him,
He's
shaking my head. I'm laughing. I'm like, no, that's
Last
not
night
what you
ever.
do.
Well, I mean, the notes sounded good if the words
Yeah,
might
it's
have been
still-
off,
That's all that
but
matters.
It's
That's
still,
all that
yeah,
matters.
it's still on time.
exactly.
You came a long way too, because
Oh my
before
God.
we had like click tracks, I would always play fast.
Oh,
I'd play
yeah.
at like double speed, and then he would hate me.
Yeah,
The song's at 70 BPM. I'm playing it at 210.
I'm like, too fast.
I'm sorry.
Finish a freaking 30-minute set in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No, that is one of the biggest changes that we did is when we first started. It was all we had to try to learn the parts, and there was always a show where something would be off or we would not even be on the same page. During that festival we played, I couldn't hear a damn thing and we were lost. Being that I'm self-taught, I never knew how to play. I never learned I don't know how to do that with a click track. So one day I said, fuck it. I need to learn. So, and once we added the click tracks into our lineup, it's been night and day.
Yeah. Clicks are everything.
Yes.
Though our rig does fail us sometimes.
Sometimes I think the stamp show were the click tracks coming through the.
Yeah, I didn't even care.
They
I was
don't
like,
do
"We're
it.
loud. No one will
They
notice."
don't do it in our practice space, but when we go to some of these venues, our click tracks will play out to the crowd along with our backing tracks, which.
Yeah, which is probably an error on my part because we're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
We don't
Hey, if
play
it
that
still
way.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still works.
All right. So I actually have I have a question for all of you, right?
Okay.
For every one of you, what was your favorite show or like a show that stuck out the most to you, like the craziest or just something super memorable?
As far as a show that we've played.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta think on that for a second. Oh my god.
Ooh, damn. I don't even know.
I mean, there was the one out at Homeboy's farm.
Oh yeah, that was
wait,
good.
yeah.
All right, so you tell.
You do the 4th of July.
Yeah,
show,
you do the 4th. I got one in my head that's more of
Yeah.
like it was a great show.
It was in the middle of nowhere. We're playing in. It's just like a little covered shack sort of thing.
It was a shack with pallets as the floor.
On literal pallets.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this one kid, Ocean,
Oh yeah, that was.
and it got real rowdy, and I ended up hitting him right in the head with my the head of my guitar.
My drum kit's falling through the freaking the pallets that we were sitting on. It was out in Indiantown.
on a
Hey.
farm.
On a farm. Like, this wasn't like some dudes like you can get there. It was like you need to look for the red mailbox in this tree, and then you find that thing. we actually ended up going down a dirt road that was not where we were supposed to go, and it was like a beekeeper.
Yeah.
We pulled up. I'm like, this guy's gonna kill us. Like, he's gonna murder us. We're gonna die
Feed
here.
us to the bees.
Nah. I grew up out there. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, he was
You see the condescending smile he has, right?
Back around.
And then the road to get to where we were playing was like a single lane road. So if I was coming down with my truck and trailer, if somebody was coming out, there was no. It was one car. That's it.
Yeah, oh, if it's over kind of by where like Martin Highway is, like going towards Okeechobee, or
We were a little deeper than that. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
It was. I mean, it was a great night. It was a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
fun.
it was.
but-
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, should it be a positive story or a negative one?
hey,
Ooh, okay.
I got like a good.
I'll
one,
let
so
you-
if you want to do,
I'll go with-
Yeah, we got
I'll
a
go
whole
with one
a
that,
whole
like,
mixture of shit.
That I think of fairly often just because of the bathroom. We were put on a show. I don't remember who headlined. I have no recollection of who headlined.
Which show was it? Like,
that was when I jumped the shark.
we
I-
played with Body Snatcher.
Was that? I don't think.
Yeah, we played with Body
It was
Snatcher.
Body Snatcher. Body Snatcher and who's Spite.
Yes.
Body Snatcher and Spite were opening for, and there was another band there that was Valley Intruder, and then there was another one who I cannot remember to save my life. I say nothing negative of them, I just cannot remember. We showed up and it was an art gallery in like Lauderdale, and the first band who was going on Valley Intruder was supposed to be at another venue called Anonymous Guitars, and that place has like a full sound system and lights, and this place was just a PA, like a combo powered mixer. So that band did not bring amps. And we ended up making friends with them because we were like, you can borrow any of our stuff. Like, doesn't matter. We appreciate you. And we brought Mike with us at the time because he was helping us with merch. And he went off to the bathroom and he came back and he was like, this bathroom is terrifying. I was like, why is the bathroom terrifying? Every venue bathroom is horrifying.
Oh my God, I
but
forgot.
This venue bathroom took the cake. They cut out the eyes of every person in magazines and made a wallpaper out of it.
Of
so
eyes.
floor to ceiling.
Eyes.
that sounds like some.
That's just
that's like serial killer type shit.
Eyes.
Bathroom the size of a coffin.
serial killer, bad acid trip type
Incredible.
shit.
I looked at it. I'm like, there's no way Mike's fitting his wheelchair in there at all. He's not
He
getting in this
literally
bathroom.
Open the door and like gorilla grip around it to get in. Gorilla grip.
I was like, I'll carry you, bro. I don't care.
We'll hold each other and stare into each other's eyes. But like the show was good. Like Spite was great. Body Snatcher was great. I didn't remember it as much as well as I should have. But like great show. Just that bathroom and like the venue itself, like a lot of people didn't know where to go.
The guy who was hosting the show looked like the lead singer of Scorpions, or like James
the owner
Dio.
of the venue, yes.
Oh no, like the.
The owner. Oh look, our
Guitarist is in the chat. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee. Yeah. I do measure shows based on whether or not he would have put up with it, because it's not something he's accustomed to. Like, there are venues I think back on, I'm like, he would have called an Uber from 100 miles away and left.
Rhythm guitarist is very particular. Like, but I love going into a weird venue because it's like, dude, it's another story that you get to tell.
Yeah.
Like, for now, like it's crazy. Yeah. So you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
All
That's
right.
all you now, brother.
So the one that I would say is like kind of like a crazy, like a really good event was one that, it's kind of hard to say we put it on. It's the Scene Alliance.
Oh,
Should we go into that, or should I?
All
right.
Yeah.
That's got a history with somebody else.
Yeah,
But all right. So I'm going to say we, as a band, we put on an event in the local area. Jensen Beach was Scene Alliance, and it was at Oceanside Pub, downtown Jensen. It's a different place now, but
I think it's like a brewery.
yeah, but that one really stood out to me because it was the first time as like a metal drummer, metal band, like we've been around it was a multiple genre show. I've never really experienced anything like that before. It was a lot of, you had metal, you had like indie kind of acts.
It was like Falsetto played, who was doing like kind of like alt metal kind of vibey stuff.
Yeah,
Hidden Treehouses was a band who had played at the time, and they were doing like some straight up Midwest like emo. Like there was a trombone player, trumpet player, and a keyboard player. They opened. It was awesome.
It was great. It was great to.
The lineup was fire. Yeah.
It was great to be at a show where if you came to it there's something for everyone, because not a lot of people are going to go to a metal show. You hear the same music of 4 or 5 bands, but this just had a little something for everybody, and it was a big show. We made a lot of money from putting it on. Everybody got paid. We paid the bar. We paid the sound guy. Like, everybody made money that night. We kept enough to that show helped us buy our first gear trailer. We bought our first trailer with what we had left over at the end. Like, it was a really good show. It was really good to see so many people, because the place was packed for the entire lineup.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, they came in and saw a few bands and then the last one played to nobody. It was packed. So to me, that was like one of the like bigger things that had happened that we were a part of. But
awesome.
we could go on for
Ever.
about the venues and shows that we've played, because every single one of them had something that we still talk about to this day. He mentioned Anonymous Guitars. That we played a show at Anonymous Guitars, and literally we got rained on because it was like an
It was like one of those like bay door storage facility kind of
Yeah.
like commercial areas, and like
So
to get on the stage they had to open the bay door, and we were getting ready, and then South Florida torrential downpour.
all of our gear soaked.
Oh, it was awful.
So the band that was on it, they opened it, and we looked right at them, just soaked to the bone. We're like, get off the stage now. Because it had been like 5 to 10 minutes of getting rained on.
Yeah, 15-ish minutes of it just getting torrentially downpoured on.
Yeah. So,
Well, before we spend the rest of the show talking about all the other crazy shows, I kind of wanted to ask about like 2 specific things. I'm going to lead with, I guess, the shorter one, merch and all that. Where can people find it?
We have merch at shows.
yes.
Okay.
We didn't set it up at the last one just because it's hard to set up at the stamp, and we weren't going to make anybody just wait outside.
Right.
The oven's on. We do have like stuff that's always available on our Big Cartel. It's like a couple long sleeves and some t-shirts. You can order those directly. We don't fulfill them. We use drop shipping for that, just so we have show merch and merch that we don't have to worry about replenishing double time. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. And just sort of like a vision for the future for you guys. What were you planning? What were your 2, 5, 10-year plan?
Oh,
Man.
dang, that's a serious question.
It's like a professional interview question.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, I like that.
Man, come on, dog. I don't know. I feel like 2 years. Like we want to go against the grain in the sense of like I'm so tired of bands being like just keep releasing singles. Singles are awesome, but like to me, like as an artist, you kind of want to release like a single thesis of an idea, and like if I'm just doing singles, then I may as well just do songs that are jokes. And like while we're fun guys, like we want what music we make to be serious. We want to be fun and have fun in like the social media content and when we're doing stuff like this. But the music itself, we take seriously.
Well,
And
as a musician, I've been working on the same album for I think it's 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
The one of the ones that we did was, like Violator took a long time, but
and like I still wish I could go back and redo that.
Yeah.
With the knowledge I have now, but it is what it is. It lives.
as far as the foreseeable,
Yeah.
the foreseeable future, maybe, a couple years down. I mean, the biggest thing we're trying to do right now is we're trying to get another album out, so we have fresh material. That's the one thing we like to have something new when we play these shows, not the same set every time.
right.
But a couple years down, I mean, we're still doing it. I mean, we do this mostly. This is mostly a hobby.
That's
Like,
fun.
I mean, look, if we popped off and started being musicians, touring and doing all this crazy shit, that'd be awesome. But at the end of the day, it's fun to have a show. Oh yeah, this weekend we're playing a show. We're gonna have fun, and we just hope that as the years go on, it just continues to just keep being fun, and we stay together and just keep doing this well as long as we can see.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. Just keep moving and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
No, like it's crazy once something becomes almost like a job, right? It's like, oh man, damn, I got to do this. Like at that point, what's the point of doing it if you're not having fun anymore? Especially like music is supposed to be about passion and emotion and like, it I don't know.
There is a certain amount of like you gotta
it's
keep
like
at it, and it becomes sort of the repetition of it, especially with like touring and doing shows. But it's
Yeah.
supposed to still fulfill something in your art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point in our lives, like maybe I have a child on the way. Maybe like after my kid's a little older, and I know that I'm not gonna just abandon my wife with the child for a week. We might like I work at Indian River State College. Like during the spring break week, we do a 1 week tour if ever the material justifies it.
Yeah.
I also know that like doing that it's just a financial risk at this point. When you look at other genres when they're not held to the same standards that metal and hardcore are. I can't even say hardcore. Metal specifically. Hardcore, you can release an album that sounds like it was recorded in 1982 with like 8 microphones in a garage and get critical acclaim. If your snare sounds even remotely fucked and you're a metal band, you will be red for filth for that for the rest of your life. So, like, it's just a different marketplace for that. Like, especially because there's so many different subgenres and we never feel like we fit in anywhere. Like we always feel like the odd man out on most shows, unless it's like we felt that's why we're so excited to play with Psych. They kind of live in so many different like genres. We've played so many shows where we're playing with like super heavy beatdown bands, and like the crowd leaves because we don't have breakdowns on every song. I love breakdowns, but if I have to hear the same breakdown another time, I'll be awful. I won't go one further because Mind Virus just dropped in. Like they're a band we love playing with. They make incredible like black and doomy death metal. We don't do that yet. When they put us on shows, we feel incredible love for that. But there are times where, like, I look at lineups that they got to be on. I'm like, we would stand out like a sore thumb. Yeah. Like, and it would suck so much to just like, and it's a demoralizing feeling because like that audience came for one thing, and you're providing them like a buffet, and they're like, I just want spaghetti.
Yeah.
What do you think, Max, about where you see it in a couple years, 10 years?
I don't know. Try to get next album out.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Try to come up with some something cool, some like creating a story from start to finish sort of album. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, I think.
Yeah,
like kind of like American Idiot.
I can't even say like American Idiot, but like I guess the albums I love. I personally, when I was writing the lyrics for this, which I mean we pretty much can scrap at this point because they're all very personal to me, was like Death Heaven's Sunbather. That was telling a very narratively driven story. Could you understand the lyrics of the album? God, no, but lyrically they were great. Same thing for like I think every Converge album. I didn't understand a word that man is saying, but like lyrically, like he's telling this beautiful narrative.
That is the one thing we try to do the same. Is like we want our music to like be a story to tell, and by the end of it, you're like, damn, that was an experience.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I wanted to kind of go back and hit on the genre thing. If you guys, I don't know if you guys live by label, like genre, subgenres. If you had to classify yourself as something, what would you want the universe to know you as? Like if you had this genre, this label. I know a lot of artists don't want to put a label on their music, but if you had to, what would it be?
We had already discussed this at one point to try and find out like what genre are we? And we eventually landed on I think metalcore.
Yeah, we just say we're a metalcore band. Like we have breakdowns, we do metal stuff. We're a metalcore band. Like the idea of trying to like get down to the minutia of like you look at a song like Bishop Night King where we have all these industrial elements and we're kind of pulling from new metal on, and then you
Widower's like thrash.
It's like thrashy crossover kind of shit, and then you go to like Days of Immortality where we're doing like black and doom stuff, and then on that album we have a song we don't really play live called Winter Burial where we're doing like kind of in flamesy symphonic stuff, like.
It's really hard to put us in. Like Max said, we landed on metalcore, and that's where we're gonna sit. So.
Well, if it's easy to put a label on it, it's probably not going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
It's just going to be generic.
And we basically go off of. I mean, when people see us live, we go off of like, oh hey, you guys sound like this. What was one you got when we played the Stamp?
When we got done with the Stamp, a guy comes over to me. He's like, "You're clean singing. You sound like Daryl Palumbo from Glassjaw." I'm like, "I could kiss you on the mouth."
I think somebody
I did not sing that good.
And I think somebody had mentioned that show was Poison the Well or something like that.
Like we got compared to.
We just go off, but sometimes we go off of literally what people make of it. It's like, oh yeah, you guys sound. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we're going for. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah, I've had people like, especially when I do like when I was doing like super low gutturals and like highs, like you sound like Black Dahlia Murder. I'm like, I do not sound anything like Trevor. May he rest in peace. But I appreciate that. That really warmed my heart.
Well. Yeah. So I know normally we run this for about a half an hour. I mean, we would love to have you guys back. If you guys want to come back, we can set a date up. I can message you guys and we can talk a little more.
Oh yeah, I'm down for
Yeah,
that.
we're down for that.
Cool. Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I was looking forward to this for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hopefully we delivered. We appreciate you
Yeah.
having us. This is fun. We love doing stuff like this.
No, it's great. I mean, I know me and Brian, we both love hearing where inspiration comes from, pretty much where the artist comes from, especially when it comes to like more underground type stuff. They don't, like, a lot of underground artists don't necessarily have a platform, but
I'm personally kind of just looking forward to like checking in along the way, doing multiple interviews over time, seeing how the band's changed, listening to how the music's changed, the writing process has, stuff like that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love
That
to be.
sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was a good time.
it was fun.
For sure.
all right, well, thanks y'all.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys
thank you
and
for having us.
everybody out there watching. We didn't say it, but like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow the page if you're on Facebook. We run it bi-weekly. We try to shoot for 5:30. We update the week before, so
And
Follow-
shares are appreciated.
Follow and support everybody.
Yeah.
that's right. And everybody that's watching, follow, like, and support Tyrannaphobia as well.
Thank you.
And yeah, I guess that is it. Everybody, stay frosty.
Thank you.
Yeah.